Hello, Dr. Crawford. This is my reflection for Unit 3, Teachers as Designers, and the course overall. This unit and this course was pivotal in helping me shift my mindset from just planning lessons to designing quality learning experiences that are centered on student identities, interests, and lived experiences and voices. One of the biggest things I've learned is that learner-centered design isn't just about making activities fun. It's about making them relevant and meaningful to your students' lives. As we learned in this course, I can now see that students are most motivated when they feel a sense of belonging and ownership and choice. And I was able to see that through my own mini teaching lesson. As you know, I've never taught professionally before outside of volunteer roles, so it was amazing to see that really put into practice. Um, so, a few of the principles that feel essential to me now are you mentioned voice and choice in your assignment description, and I think that's really important because even small decisions help students feel agency in their learning. um, Relevance of material to students' lives, just specifically in PE, just connecting movement and health and skills to students' lives outside of school and outside of the gym, and their lived experiences will make it stick. Um, and then just a culture of belonging and inclusivity, just creating a supportive environment. That's just as important as the content you teach, I feel, after this course. Going forward, I specifically want to try to use strategies like provocation, excuse me, to spark curiosity. Things like as students walk into the gym, they're seeing an image of something we might be learning that day that sort of turns a light bulb on in their brain and sparks that curiosity. Something I learned a lot about in this course is clear learning targets that students can understand and not just the teacher, and multiple pathways for demonstrating learning. And in PE and health specifically, I'm excited to let students help design games and set their fitness goals, bring movement traditions from their own cultures. Um, so this course in that way helped me shift from like, what am I teaching the students and what is this lesson plan to what experiences am I designing to help them grow and foster that safe environment for learning. Um, as far as the curriculum storyboard goes, my curriculum storyboard is such a work in progress and it's sort of becoming a little passion project of mine. I was undecided after I laid out my learning experiences whether or not I should go back and really hone that in and add some things. And I think I will by the time I submit my exhibition of learning. It really has been a clarifying activity for me, and something I've sought advice on from my own mentors in my own school. Just seeing the entire unit visually laid out helped me check if my goals and activities were actually aligned, which I was able to see that some of them weren't, and I needed to go back and recraft. And whether the learning journey made sense from the student's point of view and not just my point of view. Like I said, still very much a work in progress for me. And I hope to perfect that by the time I submit my exhibition of learning. And I think looking at classmates' storyboards too expanded my thinking. I always take something from the classmates' assignments that I'm able to look at if they're in a discussion board, especially the students in this program who are already teachers. They teach me a lot. They show me things that I never would have thought of and never knew to do or add or implement. And so that's been really helpful. Um, so, personal and professional growth. I went back and revisited my early educator self-portrait, and that helped me see that I've grown quite a bit as a future educator, but I've also unknowingly stuck pretty closely to my original thoughts on creating an inclusive and flexible learning environment. Um, I I came into this course thinking I was learning how to create good and appropriate lessons, which is true. And I'm leaving this course with a much deeper understanding of how to design learning experiences that are aligned and equitable and also appropriate. Um, I have learned to prioritize the clarity of purpose, making use of the backward design. That was amazing to learn, and to implement and put into practice, and utilizing the science of learning and development also. Um, I'm just more confident overall designing units that students are able to have independence in and sort of reflect on their own learning and where they are in their own fitness goals, and sort of taking ownership over that. I also feel like my core strengths are clearer now. I really, really care about belonging and making those deep connections in my classroom with students, between myself and the students and their peers and the learning, um, and just empowering them to do that and to take ownership over that. And so, because of that, my goals have evolved, as they should. And now I'm thinking more about designing assessments that foster reflection, and integrating student input, and proactively planning for diverse needs in PE and health. Um, I think the hexagon connections and the curriculum planning board and the storyboard have had the biggest impact on me throughout this course. Through your feedback, Dr. Crawford, I was able to get a better understanding of grade level appropriate learning targets that are easy for the student to understand as well as myself. Um, the curriculum planning board, I spent a lot of time on that, and it really, really helped me visualize and conceptualize for the first time, my unit plan being broken down into the standards and the essential questions and the KUDs that I needed to focus on for the unit plan, and the resources that I had to gather. That was really, really great practice for the future, I believe. Um, and then, like I said before, although my storyboard is still a work in progress, it was really inspiring to reach the end of my unit planning and see all my planning laid out in this friendly looking, easy to use format with everything pulled together. And so that was really, really helpful for me, even though I'm going to go back and perfect it. So, overall, this course helped me see myself not just as a teacher, but really as a designer of learning experience, as you know, it has been discussed so much over this course. And I think I'm walking away with this course with tools and clarity and confidence and a greater understanding on how to build units that promote, connection and inclusivity, and that are truly, truly learner centered, because I actually know what learner centered means now. So, thanks.